It seems like we talk about one of these stories now once a week. It is wild. And, well, I guess this week is no different with this one right here. Let me go ahead and get it up on screen right now. Walt Disney World News Today. Video group brawl breaks out at Disney's Contemporary Resort. What is going on? This by Gretchen McDermott over there at WDWNT. A new viral video shows a fistfight breaking out between a group of several guests standing in Disney's Contemporary Resort. Contemporary Resort fight footage was shared online via TikTok by Alyssa Bartata, I guess. All right there. In the video, the user is sitting on a bench on the 4th floor of the resort, also known as the Grand Canyon Concourse near the elevators. She begins filming the area near the entrance to Bayview Gifts, which is already crowded with a group of several people fighting and an even larger crowd watching. The video is captioned, quote, "Couldn't finish my bar crawl, man," and has the text, "Having a magical time at Disney."
That's fantastic.
That is brilliant.
The complaint is that she can't. She may be joking, and if she's joking, that's
brilliant,
even more hilarious. But it's just that humanly funny. Yeah, we had this brawl break out, and it ruined my bar crawl at Disney.
Right. As the video begins, it is clear that a group of at least 4 men are engaged in a heated fight. The men are shoving each other and appear to be yelling. Though the original sound is not included in the video, the men start pushing each other toward the middle of the space. As the video continues, another man in a tan shirt runs up and appears to try and break them apart. The group ignores them and continues fighting. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this footage on screen. Fortunately, there's nothing too shocking or violent here, so it should be YouTube friendly, but here you go. Yeah, this is definitely not what you want to see at the Contemporary, where they charge, what, $800 a room sometimes, culture? What's your thought on this?
Locals. Locals.
Couldn't even say it was drunk tourists. You had to say it was locals.
Locals.
Yeah, Florida man. Right there. Well, okay. I mean, that's something.
I mean,
look,
they're not dressed like tourists, so, I don't know.
To me, it's annoying just how commonplace this all is anymore now.
It's happening too frequently, and again, I mean, look, if you can get all liquored up and take a ride over to the Contemporary, there you go. I mean, and if this ruined your pub crawl, I mean, I feel for you, because it's expensive to drink at Disney, and if you got halfway through your intake and you couldn't finish it, getting frustrated there. Look, we were witness to, just think about it. What was it, 3 years ago, where an entire family decided to throw down in Toontown? I mean,
no, that was 6 years ago now.
6 years ago, the throwdown in Toontown.
Was it a family of weasels?
Yes.
No, what did?
It wasn't. Okay.
It's an amazing.
Larger than weasels. Okay.
Sorry.
Cartoon weasels. That's Who Framed Roger Rabbit from before anyone goes and looks up who in the world was in that video and then tries to say that whatever race it is.
No.
That the cartoon weasels are the ones.
A reference to that. Yes.
They're laughing themselves to death over there.
Yeah.
But it seems like there's no shortage of footage of brawls at Disney. And by the way, it seems to know no specific race here, as long as I've stumbled into that area.
Well, look at this. I'll look at the example here.
It's horrible, isn't it?
Hey, do you think that guy could have had more arm tattoos that was in the shot? I'm just curious.
And no race indeed, Jonas, because we've covered also too a brawl over there. Well, here you go in Shanghai Disneyland, right? So
this was
across all cultures, across all places. Yeah. And it's really, really sad to see. And I ask this question every single week. What is actually occurring at Disney in which these things that we're seeing are so common?
There's a cultural decline that's happened over the last 20 years, specifically in America. I think it may have happened in some other places as well. But also the fact that prices have risen. We have a focus on social media culture, which is, I think, incentivizes narcissism on some level. And then also the fact that no one wants to go in there and stop it, because if you go in there and stop it, there's also an enhanced liability for yourself if you happen to be the person to go put an end to it. The kind of people that used to stand up and say, hey, cut it out, are now being scared off by the fact that you might be recorded And then if it comes up in court, you can't just say, hey, these guys were messing around and I came in and I told them to stop it and I tried to pull them off of each other and whatever. Now they'll have video in court and they'll try to tell you that you're liable. Oh, because you, well, he missed. So you actually, your punch connected before he was attacking you, or you put yourself in danger. You put yourself into the situation. Therefore, self-defense is not an option here. There's so much here that is left to unpack when you watch this over entitled behavior at Disney parks. And it's not just Disney parks. It's not just Disney parks. We just expect more from Disney because of the image that they've created here. I wonder if we will ever get back to a culture that has enough self-respect to say, I'm not going to do that, or I'm going to say no to that kind of behavior, because I would never want to be that kind of person. Therefore, I'm going to be a good example to myself and my kids or other people's kids. I don't know. This is old man shouts at clouds territory for me. I'm just tired of it. Everybody needs to behave themselves as if they're providing an example for the next generation who might lose track.
Look, I'm going to agree with you, Jonas. And I think you touched on something that you didn't dive far enough into. When you are a guest at Disney nowadays, you're spending an extraordinary amount of money. You therefore feel more entitled to the quote unquote perfect vacation because you feel like you paid enough to have that experience, and you are entitled to your slice of Disney magic. And if somebody, cuts in line in front of you or does something, reprehensible around you or to you directly, you're going to take that elevated expectation, that level of entitlement, and you're going to translate that into, you are taking away from my experience. And that's usually, it doesn't take much. I actually have seen this happen in front of me or behind me, actually, because I was waiting in an extraordinary line on a day when the computer systems went down, when I'm trying to enter Magic Kingdom with my, at the time that was the Premier Pass. And while they wouldn't have that work at the gate. So I had to stand in a line, which had no umbrellas back then, for an extraordinary period of time in direct sunlight along with this crowd. And behind me, people were getting out of hand. People were trying to claim, well, I'm here with my family, I need to get in this line, and then all kinds of stuff happening behind me. And then we get into a fight. Well, everybody there is suffering under the weight of Disney, and Disney is accountable for some of this frustration from the guests. I'm sorry. I think that, I'm not excusing bad behavior, never would, but people do feel like I've paid thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Every single moment of my time is valuable. And this level of inconvenience is,
right,
too much to bear.
Right. So, and again, it comes back to this idea of, okay, if we're spending this much money, let's say the Campbell family decides that they want to go to a park, and let's say we even want to go for like 4 days. Disney not giving you so much of a break on 4 days. Universal will give you a break on the second, the third, the fourth, and the, every day subsequently from there. Do I want to go and have a high tension, we must maximize our fun, or this is a waste of money? Or do we want to go to some place where we can relax and have a good time? And everybody, including the person who pays for the trip, heavy hint on who that might be, is also having a good time. And mom is having a good time because she doesn't feel bad about how much money is being spent on all of this. Reducing the amount that it costs to a point, because you reduce it too much, then all of a sudden you got a bunch of teenagers and you have a different theme parks problems. Is setting the price point at an appropriate level actually, I think, solves some of these problems. But whatever. I'm not blaming on the pricing necessarily, but I do think it's a factor.
Well, I think there's something definitely to be said about the price increasing to a point in which people feel inherently stressed out even before they arrive, or even when maybe things are proceeding smoothly while you're inside the park. There's a little bit of stress related there, obviously, with how much money is being shelled out at the time. And as I've said multiple times on this program and others, Disney has even seen the effect that high pricing actually has on the guests in the park. They notice that, oh, hey, people are walking just a little bit faster down Main Street in order to maximize their time and so forth. But then when you add on layers of complexity, when you add on like the heat, for example, when you're out there in Walt Disney World, I think tensions flare and people do things, and it's really, really unfortunate. Never like seeing it at all. Obviously, we like to keep these places the most magical place or the happiest place on earth. Unfortunately, some people they bring their unhappiness with them, and this is the result.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.